Do you ever feel overwhelmed by the ever-changing world of technology? Tech It Out can help make some sense of it all. Breaking down geek speak into street speak, technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman covers consumer technology each week for every listener. Mark tackles the latest news, reviews, and how-tos to help you understand what's hot, what's not, and why.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tech It Out, episode 421. Wow, can't believe it's been more than 8 years since the show launched on 40 stations in 2017. But thanks to Radio America, we've grown to more than 100 stations across the country. And the podcast was introduced a couple years after that on major platforms like Spotify and Apple and Amazon Audible and iHeart and all that. And there's also a 1-minute Tech It Out interstitial heard every day on more than 430 talk radio stations and SiriusXM's Radio Classics channel on satellite radio. So whether you're a longtime listener or first-time caller, as they say, thank you for tuning in. And also a huge thank you to my amazing new sponsor, Norton, the cybersecurity experts who have joined Visa to officially partner with Tech It Out. Visa has been an extraordinary partner for more than 3 years now. And interestingly, both Norton and Visa work to protect you in slightly different ways. But we'll get to that a little bit later on. Anyhow, hope you're all doing great now that Thanksgiving and Black Friday and Cyber Monday are here. Speaking of shopping for the holidays, on the show today, we've got Quoted Tech. It's a company that builds custom gaming PCs for you. Perhaps you're gifting a rig to a loved one this holiday season. We'll also get other gadget and game gift ideas from tech lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong this hour, as well as lifestyle guru Chassie Post. And finally, our last interview today will be with computer chip giant Qualcomm, as a VP will join us from the company to discuss Qualcomm's Snapdragon brand and the benefits to laptops with a Snapdragon processor, including lower prices for that laptop, but unbelievable battery life of more than 30 hours in some cases. Wow. All of this and more on an all-new Tech It Out. All right, let's kick things off. When it comes to buying a new PC, especially if you're into gaming, there's no shortage of options out there, including offerings from those huge brand names that you know. But often you can get a great deal, better customization, and exceptional customer care from a smaller company that lives and breathes custom PCs. I recently discovered Quoted Tech that builds custom computers for gamers, content creators, and other enthusiasts, and I wanted to invite them onto the show. So we've got on the line Kevin Jia. He's CEO and co-founder of Quoted Tech. Good to have you on, Kevin. Thanks for your time.
Hey, Mark, thanks so much for having me. I'm so happy to be part of the show today.
Awesome. Now, hey, before we talk about custom PCs and what we may need to know if we want to go down that path, tell us a bit about Quoted Tech.
Yeah, for sure, Mark. So Quoted Tech is what we like to think of ourselves as the place to buy a custom-built PC. And so we built Quoted Tech to kind of be that one-stop shop where we like to think of it as simple as buying a pizza, where you get to order the parts you want, we build it for you, and it comes straight to your door, your plug and play, you're off to the races. And if you ever have a problem, we'll take care of you. And so that's a little bit about us.
Love it. All right, so maybe not 30 minutes or less, but love that analogy of choosing your toppings on a pizza. That's great. So what would you say then separates what you do from some of the other bigger name brands out there that often have a gaming division, right? Like, I don't want to pick on anyone in particular, but, you know, Dell's got Alienware and Asus has ROG, HP has Omen, Acer has Nitro, Lenovo has Legion, and so on and so forth. What would you say separates Quoted Tech from the big guys?
Well, we like to think of it as oftentimes with the big guys, they will give you whatever is available on the shelves and they kind of just say, hey, this is for you. We like to think a little bit differently. We think that everybody's computer needs to kind of represent what they need. So we are enthusiasts ourselves. And so we know what type of technology will be better fit for you. We're not going to force you down a specific tunnel that you don't want to go down. On top of that, we try to be super transparent with everything we do. The price of the computer that you see is the price you're going to pay. There are no hidden markups. There's no extended warranty, anything like that. We provide a best-in-class warranty because we focus on the longevity of the parts. We know what we're putting in there is going to be great for you as a customer. And so we're very confident that you're going to be happy with the experience. And we stand behind that through our warranty.
I know a lot of the big players have really strong retail support, but I think in today's day and age, if you can customize your PC online, which is the way to go, I think, especially for your audience, and then have it delivered, I don't think you're really missing out on anything.
Well, I'll say this, Mark. Oftentimes when you walk into, let's say, a major retailer, I won't mention names.
Yeah, just a big box store, sure.
Yeah, and you're going to spend a few $1,000s on a computer. I mean, this is an investment, right? And you ask the person on the floor, hey, tell me about this. They're often pretty lost and confused.
That is true.
They might have less information than you do.
That is a good point, Kevin.
So really, when customers come to us, they often have done a lot of research. In today's day and age, everybody does some form of research, and they'll have pointed questions. And what they like about coming to us is that we have very pointed answers. We don't just give kind of bottom of the barrel, hey, here's a general one size fits all. Just grab that thing.
Mm-hmm. So speaking of research, let's chat about building your own PC. It's really a fun hobby for many. Why do you think that is? They like the modularity of these towers where they can pick and choose what goes in it and then change it up over time?
Yeah, that's a great point, Mark. I grew up building my own PCs.
Yeah, me too.
I had a lot of friends who grew up building their own PCs. And really, a lot of people do it because it's out of necessity. Because oftentimes, building your own PC is going to be the cheapest way to kind of get the latest and greatest tech. You can put exactly what you want into it. Kind of like car modding culture, where you have your own ability to kind of express yourself. And it's not, and I tell this to everyone, building a PC isn't rocket science. If you do enough research and you're careful what you're doing, you can do it.
Pick my graphics card, pick my storage. Back then, pick a CD ripper or, a DVD player.
Yeah, and oftentimes, yeah.
And now there's liquid cooling and see-through chassis, like neon lights, and it's fun.
Well, if you want to do something basic, it's a lot, of course, less complex, and it's a lot easier and a lot less intimidating. But what we hear from, customers and even my own, life, now that I'm a bit older and I have more of a disposable income versus when I was 14 and kind of begging my parents.
I would hope so.
Well, yeah, exactly. But, you have that flexibility now to say, look, I've tried this in the past, or I've done some research. I know what parts I want, but I really don't want to deal with having to build it myself, because there are downsides to building it yourself. It does take time. If you make a mistake, you're going to have to fix it yourself. Generally, you don't have replacement parts available.
Right.
And so it really is a question of, often for people who ask us, why don't I just build my own? I would never steer anyone away from building their own PC, but I just lay it out very transparently. Like, hey, if this is something that you don't really want to get into and you just want us to take care of, we'll do that for you.
Thanks for the clarification. So there is a difference then between building your own PC component by component and buying a custom PC. So you're going to take care of all that heavy lifting and deliver it final, like with everything in the tower, to your customers, right? It's not like that we're left to our own devices, pun intended, to put it all together like a puzzle. That's for those hobbyists who like that kind of thing, but you instead will build to spec what somebody wants, and you give them some direction on the website.
Well, a very simple analogy that I like to make is, like, think of a contractor coming to your home to make a change, right? You could probably do the installation yourself. You can buy all the parts, you can do it all, you can do all the research. And some of us are definitely more talented than others and can grasp it really quickly. Some of us, like myself, are horrible at this and would find a way to, mess up even installing a toilet. It's a question of, do you have the time and do you have the enjoyment of doing it? For me, I am of the person that I don't particularly enjoy kind of messing about. I just see my computer as something that is my time, and I want to relax and I want to enjoy my experience. Other people have a different perspective where they say, you know what, part of the building, part of the tinkering, that is the enjoyment. There is definitely a group of people out there. So it's not a question of, is one better or worse? It's a question of what works for you.
Got it. So some people like the journey as well as the destination. Others don't have time for the journey.
I think you said that much more articulate than I have.
No, you've got some great analogies there, Kevin. Do you ship anywhere in the continental US or Canada?
Yes, we do. Yep.
And what's the process like? So, okay, someone's listening to this interview and they're like, you know what? I'm going to be getting some cash for Christmas. I want to buy a custom PC. Where do you start? You go to the website, and please plug what that is. And then do you sell towers only, like desktops only? Or do you also sell laptops? Like, how do you narrow down your decision on what you need?
So we try to make it really simple for customers. You just come to our website, quoted.tech is the domain, and then you just go and browse whatever you want to browse. It's only desktop PCs. We don't do laptops. We don't sell other parts. We don't sell other brands. We make it a really clean and simple experience. Mm-hmm. And you're kind of free to just, as I said earlier with my pizza analogy, you can go and just kind of customize your PC. You can select what other parts. You can't go wrong. We don't allow an invalid configuration. So there's no checking for compatibility or anything like that. We don't want you to get lost. And if you're really confused and you're not sure, you just say, hey, I've got a lump sum of money and here's what I would like to do with it. Just ask us. Open up our chat, give us a phone call, send us an email. We read everything. Somebody on our team will get back to you with exactly what you need to do, and we'll kind of walk you through some options and experiences. And if you decide, hey, you know what, I would like to just build it on my own, you're more than welcome to do that. But what we have found is sometimes people have said, you know what, I'm going to save the money. I'm going to go and build it myself. And we often hear back from them and go, hey, I returned everything. I couldn't figure it out. Please help me.
And how long does the process take roughly from the moment you click purchase to the time you get it at your door?
We're pretty quick. So usually under 2 to 3 weeks, we have systems out on your doorstep. And so that includes the full sourcing of all the parts, that includes the building of the system, and it includes the full stress and testing of the system.
More with Quoted Tech when we return on Tech It Out.
Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want. Find the Tech It Out podcast at iTunes or wherever you get your podcasts.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. Before we continue chatting with Quoted Tech, in today's connected world, a simple antivirus just isn't enough. Your identity, your finances, and your privacy are all on the line. That's why you need Norton 360 with LifeLock, the comprehensive solution that bundles device security and identity theft protection. Tech It Out has proudly partnered with Norton as they protect your PC, Mac, and mobile devices from malware. And LifeLock takes it a step further, constantly monitoring for the fraudulent use of your personal info, from your social security number to your bank accounts. If a threat is detected, you receive an alert. If the worst happens and your identity is stolen, a dedicated US-based identity restoration specialist will be there to personally help you fix it. Plus, with the $1 million protection package, you get coverage for stolen funds and expenses. Norton 360 with LifeLock gives you the power to defend your entire digital life. Stop patching together protection. Get the all-in-one peace of mind with Norton 360 with LifeLock. Visit norton.com today. All right, speaking of PCs, we are chatting with Kevin Jia. He's CEO and co-founder of a custom PC company called Quoted Tech. Finally, and speaking of tips, do you have any advice on future-proofing your investment? Many people are concerned that the moment they get their hands on a new PC or other tech, whatever it may be, that it's already outdated by the time it's in their hands.
Yeah, so future-proofing really kind of comes down to budget. Obviously, the more money you spend, the more future-proof you're going to be. Having said that, there are ways to optimize your budget so that you can get more future-proofing out of it without having to break the bank. Oftentimes, when customers say to us, hey, you know, I've got this amount of money and I'd like to make sure that the PC is future-proofed, we often point them first in areas that aren't going to be very easily upgradable, but you know, you don't have to spend a huge portion of money. Example here, power supply, right? A power supply, nothing is going to change in terms of wattage standards in the future, but having a little bit of extra wattage room only will cost you maybe $50, $100, sometimes as low as $20, but that might future-proof you for another graphics card 5, 6, 10 years down the line.
All right, quoted.tech to learn more. Just the way it sounds, quoted.tech. Kevin Jia has been our guest. Great to chat with you. Thank you so much for carving out some time to talk, and all the best for the holiday season, Kevin.
Thank you so much, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Hey, are you ready to beat the Black Friday, Cyber Monday rush and eliminate holiday stress? Yes, it is possible, according to our next guest, lifestyle expert Chassie Post, as she's here to share her tips and tricks and top tech that's trending this season. Hey, Chassie, great to chat with you. Thanks for your time and welcome to the show.
Hi, Mark. Thanks so much for having me. And I've partnered with some awesome brands today for gift ideas that are really going to help you out.
All right. So, before we get to the tips, why don't we start off with what made your list for, let's say, the home and for families?
Yes. So for anyone that's health conscious, let's talk about a healthier way to clean our homes, especially if you have allergies or pets. Now, I'm obsessed with the Levoit Aero cordless vacuum. It keeps your floors clean and the air fresh by trapping all those pesky allergens, pet hairs, and dust with its HEPA filtration. And the best part, it auto empties and auto charges itself. So that means the mess stays contained and you can spend zero time wrestling with dirt and tangled hair and more time with family this season. And for families, my gift pick has to be the Epson Life Studio Flex Plus portable projector. Now, this device is pure magic. It instantly projects a bright and colorful 4K picture up to 150 inches. Perfect for movies or creating personalized holiday videos using the Epson Projection Studio app. And setup couldn't be easier. And the audio is incredible with the built-in Sound by Bose technology. Plus, with built-in Google TV, you have access to over 10,000 streaming apps like Netflix and Disney Plus right when you power it on.
Yeah, awesome. Actually, I've been reviewing that projector from Epson, and it is awesome. The sound is crazy with their partnership with Bose. Now, how about a financial hack for shopping this holiday?
Yes, well, my financial hack for the holidays would be the Venmo debit card. It helps savvy shoppers stretch their budgets further because it allows you to spend your Venmo balance everywhere you shop. And it unlocks a new rewards program called Venmo Stash. Now, with Stash, you can earn up to 5% cash back on everyday purchases, like at your favorite retailers and restaurants. And signing up is free right in the Venmo app. And you can add the digital card to your mobile wallet in minutes before the physical card even arrives.
We are chatting with lifestyle expert Chassie Post about some handy smart home ideas for gifting to loved ones. Why don't we circle back about gifts, maybe this time for the little ones?
Well, I'm so excited about the Tony Box 2, a game changer for ages 1 to 9 and totally screen-free. The colorful audio player is powered by the Tony's character kids choose, and there are literally hundreds to choose from, like Elsa from Frozen. You just squeeze an ear, place it on top, and the song or story starts. Now, for the littlest ones, my first Tonys are squishy characters filled with simple sounds that make learning those first words fun and hands-on. And I just love gifts that help promote independent play. Now, for the gamers, I think Sega has something for everyone. Sonic Racing Crossworlds. It's an absolute blast because it totally changes the game mid-race. It introduces travel rings that transport you across land, air, sea, and space into all new dimensions. And with cross-platform play, the whole family can race together, making it the perfect gift available on all current-gen consoles, PC, and coming to Nintendo Switch 2 on December 4th. For the details on everything I covered, just head to inthenews.tv.
Thank you so much for your time, Chassie. All the best. Happy holidays to you. Appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much for having me, and happy holidays to you, too.
Now, when we return, more holiday gift ideas, this time with tech lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong. We're going to catch up with my buddy after this short break. Stick with us. More Tech It Out coming right up after this short break.
Want to follow Mark? Google him. Mark with a C and Saltzman with a Z. Breaking down geek speak into street speak. This is Tech It Out. Tech It Out with technology columnist, author, and TV personality Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back, everyone. You're listening to Tech It Out. Holiday shopping is in full swing, so are you ready to tackle your list yet? If you are in need of some techie ideas, lucky for us, we've got digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong here to help with his guide to the season's hottest new gifts and tech-savvy gadgets. Even if you're not as tech savvy as the gadgets. Hey, Mario, always good to chat with you. I love how you break all this down for us.
Yes. This is one of my fun things to do, is to really try to help people understand where technology is going, how can it be used, what are fun, what are great, what are maybe unique gift ideas. So it's always good to be on with you, Mark. I really appreciate it. And I partnered up with some awesome brands to kind of pull together that list of some must-haves, in my opinion.
Awesome. And again, I love how you break it down into plain English. And so, yeah, I'm curious to know what you've got. I know you're doing a bunch of TV interviews today. Your set looks gorgeous, by the way, all these cool and colorful gadgets on the table. Why don't we start off with a great pick for the aspiring musician in your life? No doubt tech can play a role there too.
Oh, absolutely, and in a big way. I mean, for anyone that's ever really wanted to learn piano, this is it, in my opinion. Or if you want to get back into it, it's called the Roli Piano System. That's spelled R-O-L-I, and it's not an 88-key keyboard. It's a smaller keyboard. It's something that is portable. You can take it with you. It's very fun. It's smart. It's interactive, and it has these glowing keys that guide your hands while you use the Roli Learn app. Which, by the way, it has a ton of lessons, games, and a bunch of songs. Like 1,000+ songs you actually want to play, which is fun. And it's the only piano that sees your hands with its AI hand tracking. So it can give you real-time feedback on your finger posture and a whole bunch of things so that you can improve really fast. And it's really awesome. It's 20% off. It's $758 right now with that discount.
Even just lit up keys that if they're prompting you to press the right chords for a song, that's one thing. But to actually look at your hands too with the camera, that's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
All right, so that's Roli, R-O-L-I. Next up, Mario, any ideas to help get us excited for the season ahead?
Yeah, well, American Greetings is celebrating one of my favorites, Peanuts. And they're celebrating Peanuts' 75th anniversary with Peanuts Digital Advent Calendar. So this is a great digital gift that you can give to anybody or even do with your own family. It's an interactive experience. You do it online. It features Charlie Brown, Snoopy, the whole gang. And you essentially count down to Christmas with daily surprises. You get exclusive animated Peanuts content. There's games. There's puzzles. You can decorate the scenes on it as well. So it's really just a great idea, I think, for families, but also for digital gift giving. Maybe you have relatives or people that aren't in the area, or you're worried about shipping and handling. It's this is a great gift idea. So check out AmericanGreetings.com for some early bonus activities as well.
Dude, I have Peanuts as a watch face on my Apple Watch. I'm a fan.
This I did not know.
I got Snoopy lying on his back when it's bedtime.
I did not know. So we have the same car model, and we both love Peanuts.
That's
I did
awesome.
not know
Great.
this.
All right, so American Greetings bringing a digital advent calendar, which is all good, except it's missing the chocolate, I guess, but that's all good. We are chatting with digital lifestyle expert Mario Armstrong, here to help us guide us through the Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and into the holiday season with some great gadget gift ideas and some digital accessories, too, like the advent calendar. So how about some great gift ideas for our loved ones and maybe even something for ourselves?
Oh, okay. I see where you're going with this.
Come on now.
I mean, every time we go shopping for everyone else, we always have to pick something up for ourselves.
Yeah, 2 for them, 1 for me. 2 for them, 1 for me.
Right. That's the ratio. All right, so my first one is a unique gift idea. It's the gift of language. It's Rosetta Stone. I mean, look, 30 years in the business, 50 million learners use this. I have family and friends that have used Rosetta Stone and lived by it. So they're offering their best deal of the year. It's a lifetime membership for all 25 languages for just $149, which is 60% off. Mm-hmm. It's massive. So if you ever wanted to travel, or maybe you have a college student that's going to do that gap year, or maybe go visit some relatives, it really helps you because they have thousands of lessons. They have live classes too, so you don't have to feel like you're just on your own. And they have real world content, which I think really helps you accelerate when you can actually start having real world type conversations. So check out Rosetta Stone for that. That's a biggie.
Yeah, I like those free apps, but they don't really work great, I've found. So, you get what you pay for. Better to stick with the OG here, and that's a great deal on a lifetime membership.
It is a great deal. I agree.
And speaking of services, I know that you also have something for avid readers, young readers, that is also a great deal.
I do. For the kids, do you know about the popular book series? If you don't, it's Cat Ninja. And this popular book series has been read over 300 million times. It is a hit graphic novel with the kids. It's put out by Epic, which is the world's leading digital reading platform for kids. And they have launched their first ever Cat Ninja collectible figurines. So each collectible figurine features Cat Ninja in action-packed poses. So it's perfect for their imagination. They want to play, storytelling fun, and it's just another connection to the very popular graphic novel. And it's at just $19.99, so it's a great price.
Cool. Yeah, the Epic app for readers, like on a tablet, fantastic for kids with thousands and thousands of titles, including popular ones. But I didn't know about this action figure. And maybe we can end off on one of my favorite brands, Eufy. Really great and often very aggressively priced products.
They do. And this one is like, Eufy is incredible what they're bringing to the table this year. I mean, the robot vacuum E25, this is your all-in-one cleaning hero. So this is probably the gift that you give to yourself, unless you really, really love somebody, then you give this to them. Because let me tell you, it vacuums and mops your floors. Okay, it's a robotic vacuum. It vacuums and mops your floors. Then it automatically empties the dust. It washes and dries its mop, and it even refills clean water from the base station. So the Hydrojet system, it's got this roller mop that deep cleans. It doesn't spread the dirt. And then inside, it has what it's called duo spiral brushes. Those prevent hair tangles. And then it has extra strong suction. Very, very powerful. So it handles pet hair, carpets, all those everyday messes with ease. This finally makes it feel like the Jetsons are around the corner.
All right, that's from Eufy. That's EUFY. Is there a website, Mario, where we can not only read more about these products and maybe buy them with a link, but also see videos of you using them in action?
Yeah, you can. That's a great call out. So the website, we have not only the ones I just mentioned, but some other ones up there as well. So you can check out some of the other lists. Just go to inthenews.tv. That's inthenews.tv. And we have everything there.
Awesome, Mario. And I look forward to chatting with you, I hope, even before the holidays. And of course, at CES, I'll be seeing you at the show.
Yes, yeah. Our time is coming soon. But yeah, we'll chat probably one or two more times, hopefully, before the holidays hit.
Looking forward to it already.
All right, see you soon.
Cheers. Oh my gosh, yeah, CES is around the corner. I think I'm flying to Vegas on January 4th. That's a crazy tech show, which I will report from for you in a month and a bit from now. All right, when we return on the program, we're going to catch up with Qualcomm to learn all about Snapdragon, a monster of a chip family. We'll be right back.
Breaking down geek speak into street speak. Check it out. Hosted by Mark Saltzman.
Welcome back to Tech It Out. We cover cybersecurity a lot on this program and how you can best protect yourself in the digital age, even if you're not super tech savvy. One part of the solution is securely shopping online. And so I'm thrilled about my partnership with Visa on Tech It Out, as they've made some significant investments in fraud prevention over the past 5 years, as much as $10 billion. Yes, that's billion with a B, to support Visa's brand promise to protect the financial information of individuals and businesses. Zero liability means peace of mind when you shop online using your Visa card. There can be no half measures when it comes to cybersecurity, which is why the company takes an aggressive and multi-layered approach to combating the rising threat of malicious software and other threats by well-funded and global criminal enterprises. Read more about Visa and how securing the world's payments is priority one at visa.com/security. That's visa.com/security. It's a tech brand that you may not have heard of for many years, even though they were likely responsible for powering your smartphone. And now they've become even more ubiquitous with its move into laptops and wearables and several other devices. I'm referring to Qualcomm and its Snapdragon brand, and we're going to hear what's new at the company now, as we're joined on the line by Mike Roberts. He's Vice President of Global Product Marketing at Qualcomm. Good to have you on the show for the first time, Mike.
Super excited to be here, Mark. Thanks for having me.
Great. Now, before we hear about specific products and what's new from the company, let's just give a 50,000-foot view of Snapdragon. What's the brand and its parent company, Qualcomm, all about?
Yeah, so as you said, Qualcomm is the company. That's who we work for, but Snapdragon is our consumer product brand. right? So this is what you'll see on our products and us promoting publicly to consumers. What is Snapdragon really? What does that entail? Well, a lot of people will say it's an ingredient brand, meaning I can't go buy a Snapdragon, go to a Best Buy and buy a Snapdragon. I can't do that. But we are inside the products that you do buy. So Snapdragon really powers consumer electronics around the world. We're known for smartphones. This is our heritage. This is where we started. But then now we've moved into PCs, and I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit more.
Yeah.
We're also in virtual reality headsets. We're in augmented reality glasses. We're in any wearable that you have. That could be a smartwatch. That could be earbuds. That could be headphones. We're in gaming handhelds. And believe it or not, we're actually in most cars that you drive. So that's another huge segment for us, which you could say a car is really a big consumer electronic nowadays.
That's for sure. And so is this the processor, like the engine that drives the performance of these devices, or the brains, if you will? I mean, choose your analogy. But is that what we're referring to? Because if I'm not mistaken, Qualcomm also makes modems that wirelessly give you connectivity.
Yes, that's right. So think of it as the processor in your phone. Some would say the brain. We like to say the heart as well, because it really brings out the emotion that you feel when you have these devices. And I would say there's kind of three different pillars that we look at. One is connectivity, having that connectivity everywhere, no matter what it might be. It could be your cellular connection. It could be your Wi-Fi connection. Could be the Bluetooth connection to your car.
Right.
Or your earbuds. The second piece is really that computing piece, which the heritage of Qualcomm is really about low power along with a high performance. Those two things are a bit of an oxymoron, but that's what we specialize in. And then the third area is really, and I'm sure we'll talk about this more, of how do you build the current processors today to enable all the AI experiences that are about to come to us as consumers.
Great. Yeah, we'll get to AI in a moment, but let's stay in the computer space, which is related. So Qualcomm is now building a product that's breaking away from the traditional, let's call it x86 architecture.
Yep.
Can you explain what that means in plain English, and how Snapdragon is different? You've already alluded to low power consumption, which yields longer battery life, something people have been not asking about, begging for decades, that Snapdragon really seems to be delivering on.
Yeah, I think the best way to explain it to people is it's different languages. So you probably heard the term software and hardware. Software is basically how do you make the hardware do what you want? So I'm going to talk to my taxi driver and tell him I want to go here. Well, if he speaks Italian and I only speak English, we're not going to get very far. So it's really about the software being able to communicate to the hardware in a certain language. So for x86, the techie term is instruction set. But for x86, there's a certain language that you have to talk to the processor in order to do things. What we use is a different instruction set. And so that language is different. And so essentially, the benefit of it is it's lower power, which gives you more battery life as a consumer. It's really the technology that powers your smartphone all day long, which is why many times a smartphone can go much longer than your PC historically. But now we're bringing that technology over to PCs. The language that you talk to that's traditionally been talked to in PC is now going to be a bit different. And so what that enables you to do is have these really long battery life experiences on your PC. You don't have to boot up your mobile phone, like you press the button and it instantly turns on. That's the same thing now with your PC. You open the lid and it's going to instantly turn on. But it's really just talking a different language to the silicon inside.
Thanks for that. That's really helpful, I think, to many of our listeners. Can you give us, Mike, an overview of some of the newest Snapdragon products, including the X series and Snapdragon 8 Elite, I believe it's called, and what devices those two processors power?
Yeah, so every year it's called Snapdragon Summit. It's our own event. We've had it for 10 straight years. We're really proud of that. What you can always count on in that event, we announce what our next mobile processor is. So if you tune into that and you wonder, what are the phones going to look like in the following year? We're basically telling you. So that happened in late September of this year.
One of your folks generously invited me, but I wasn't able to attend. But I heard it did really well, and there was a lot of buzz on social media about it. We're going to continue chatting with Qualcomm about Snapdragon when we return on Tech It Out. Stay with us.
Follow Mark Saltzman on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram. Listen to Tech It Out whenever you want.
We are chatting with Mike Roberts, VP of Global Product Marketing at Qualcomm. We're learning about its Snapdragon brand. Before the break, I think you were about to tell us what was new in the mobile space.
Absolutely. So last year, we announced a new premium tier of our mobile processor, and we called it Snapdragon 8 Elite. What we've done this year is announced our next generation of that. It goes into all of your Android phones. So as we talked about earlier, this is the processor, this is the connectivity, this is how all your AI experiences run on. It's really the brain and the heart of your mobile phone. We announced a new architecture that we've really been working on, and this is now our third generation of that. So if you think of the block inside of your phone as this processor that's doing everything, well, inside that you have a CPU, which a lot of people are familiar with, and we can thank Intel for that for 30 years of drilling what a CPU is in our head from their commercials. And then you also have your graphics processing unit. So this does all the graphics on your phone. If you do gaming, all this stuff gets upgraded every single year. And so essentially, when we develop these processors, we have to think, okay, it takes like 3 years to do them. And so what is the world going to look like in 3 years? This is what we launched this year. So we started working on this processor around 3 years ago. And it basically accelerates all the different consumer experiences from the traditional stuff you think of just normal open apps, all of this kind of stuff, camera, what's my camera experience going to be, what type of applications are going to come. But we also had to project, okay, what new experience are going to come to the phone, which is really around AI.
No doubt.
So that's the mobile piece.
So the X series, is that more for laptops?
That is purpose-built for PCs. So a little bit about us in PCs. You're used to hearing about Intel and AMD in the PC space. And believe it or not, it was only May of last year. We've been in PCs for a while, but this new X series really took it to the next level. And so we announced our Snapdragon X series products. So there's 3 different tiers of that. There's Snapdragon X Elite, Snapdragon X Plus, and then just Snapdragon X. Those are in market today. And so when we announced that May of last year with Microsoft, I think we had over 20 products announced on the same day, which I don't think has ever been done in Windows ever. 20 products on the same day available to consumers. So now we have over 85 Copilot Plus PCs. Copilot Plus is the Microsoft AI operating system. And we have those from Microsoft, Dell, HP, Lenovo, Acer, Asus, Samsung, basically all the Windows manufacturers. And so what we announced this time was our next generation of that, which we're calling, I know it's going to be surprising, X2. So we announced the X2 Elite, which you'll start seeing in laptops early next year. What does that bring to you? Well, a big part of it is just the raw horsepower of that processor for consumers. We're also, no matter which processor you buy, we're allowing the same AI processing no matter which tier of product you buy, whether you buy the highest end or our lowest end. So what that is going to enable is a consistent experience for all these new AI experiences coming in from whether it be Microsoft themselves or all these different third parties, and even all the applications that you're using today is all going to start using AI more, so you can have a consistent experience no matter what tier of product you buy.
And just going back to battery life for a moment, even with your existing X chip in laptops, the Asus ZenBook A14, which I reviewed earlier this year, up to 32 hours of battery life. I've never seen anything that long. And it's amazing that it's going to only get better and better. And then, let's end off on AI. Mike, so as you mentioned, whether it's through Microsoft Copilot or Copilot Plus or third-party platforms like ChatGPT or Google Gemini, the laptops that you buy, as well as your mobile devices, they will support all the AI tools that consumers know and love, and no doubt will be a bigger part of our personal and professional lives going forward. And that's with the X2 and the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Is there a website where we can learn more, Mike?
Absolutely. You can just type in Snapdragon in your Google browser, whatever browser search engine you use, and you'll see them there. If you want to get a little bit more specific, you can type in Snapdragon X2, and it'll bring you right to our page, or Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, and it'll bring it right to that new page.
All right, Gen 5 for the Snapdragon 8 Elite. Thank you so much, Mike from Qualcomm. Great to chat with you for the first time on this program. Hopefully it won't be the last. All the best. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, Mark. Really appreciate it.
And thank you for tuning in to Tech It Out. Hope you enjoyed today's show with multiple guests and topics. A huge thank you to Norton and Visa for partnering with me on Tech It Out. Just as they aim to simplify cybersecurity and personal protection and payments, I try to break down geek speak into street speak every week on this program. So we're aligned there. Also, a thank you to SANDISK. That's the storage company that I only trust my data with. External flash SSDs, solid state drives, as well as USB thumb drives and micro SD cards. Love that company with lots of sales around this time. Black Friday, Cyber Monday, SANDISK.com. Thank you so much for tuning in, everybody. All the best. We'll catch up with you next weekend for another new episode of Tech It Out. Bye-bye for now.